What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Different Views, the podcast. Appreciate y'all for tuning in today. So we got a guest on today, a close friend of mine, like a brother. He's a mentor, he's a brother, he's a father figure, he's a coach, he's a role model. He carries multiple titles and plays multiple roles. My boy Ed. So Ed, go ahead, tell him about you, who you are, and what you do.
My name is Edwin Glick. Grew up in Massillon, played ball in Massillon. Now coach high school football at Canton, Mckinley. I coach outside linebackers, and I'm the director of college recruiting.
So let's go back into like the childhood of growing up in Massillon. Like, so, talk about like, your childhood of, your parent, your household, life of being like a young Tiger, how you got into football, how you got into just sports in general.
Yeah, so I grew up, born and raised in Massillon, like I said. Born in '99. Uncle played football for Massillon in '99. Had a pretty big impact on me as a young kid. And obviously, as you two know, growing up in Massillon is just you're born with it. You're born with a football, and it's just tradition. And for me, I felt like I had no other path but to get on that field and wear that orange and black. So I grew up inside the Boys and Girls Club playing football with some of my guys. Got to junior high, was very dominant. Got to high school, and that's when you came along, Dejan, and we just continued to add to the group, and we was really dominant on the field, and that's really it. Just like I said, you're born with it. It's just automatic. You're already ingrained and instilled inside your head that you're going to play football as a young kid, and you got to put that orange and black on and run out that tunnel.
This one is definitely just a crazy ass tradition, like we always have, or always say with everybody we have on. Like everybody talks about the tradition and the culture of Massillon. Like that shit is just different. Ain't no high school program like that shit in the fucking country. So how did you get into, or when did you know you wanted to be a coach? Did you always know, or how did you transition into like wanting to be a coach?
So I did not know that I wanted to be a coach until I was literally in it. Like I said, growing up in Massillon, you got some big time athletes like yourself, Gary. We grew up to guys like you, and a couple other names like Bo Grunder, a couple other guys, obviously, and we all want to go to that next level. And I 1,000% thought that I was going to go and play college football for 4 years. And that wasn't the path that God gave me and led me down. And when football was cut short for my career, I decided what else would I want to do to continue to pass down the knowledge that I have on the football field and what I love to do. So that's when football came along, and it started fast, and we're here now 7 years later.
Damn, that shit is long.
I ain't been in college in 7 years. It's crazy.
So let's kind of go back a little bit into like high school a little bit. What, like, let's talk about, I want to go over like the transition of going from high school graduate to like the college. Like, what was the whole, like, how did the college thing work? I know, but like for the people who don't know, like, how did the whole college thing, like, how was that process?
Right. So we had some pretty high caliber kids coming out of high school, such as myself, Dejan, you were as well, a couple other buddies, Malcolm, Vince, a couple other guys, but we were pretty high on the radar for a lot of schools. I believe that we were all Division I athletes. So, like I said, growing up, we all wanted to play D1 football, and I believe that we all had that path. But there was a couple mistakes that I know I made personally, and one of them was not focusing in the classroom. Didn't do the correct things that I needed to in the classroom. Guys always told me growing up, hey, you need to focus on grades. And I just thought, man, these are some massive old heads that don't know what they're talking about. And then that day happened where Nate Moore was like, hey, I got a guy that's interested, but I can't do nothing because you don't have the grades. So this is you got to get it together now, and you got the future to get it corrected. And then Ended up going JUCO. Didn't like what the situation that I was dealt with. Ended up coming home. I was indecisive of playing JUCO in Ohio, playing JUCO in Cali. And it just been to places, and it wasn't Massillon. And it kind of threw me off, and I ended up coming home and coaching high school football right then and there.
That's crazy because the shit like that you keep saying about like growing up, like you do have that aspiration and like that goal to play D1 football. Like it's not, like some kids is like will be like, I don't know if I'm gonna play football. I don't know if I'm gonna make it D1. But like I feel like everybody that plays at Massillon, like you just believe it. No matter if you go to college or not for it, it's just like you have that confidence. Like I feel like it's ingrained, like you said, from the program and just being around the culture. Like you see people around that are going to college and you're like, I can do that too. Like it puts it in
For
your
sure.
head. So like no matter what, obviously you set goals for yourself. You set high standards for yourself. Like I'm gonna play college. Like it's not even a doubt. Like I'm gonna play college. It's just a matter of if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. Like you said, and then you just move on. But I feel like there's nobody. Obviously, people who aren't playing, they have different goals and stuff. But like everybody that played at Massillon, if you started on the field in some position, like you're in your mind, you going to college. Like that was just,
Sure.
it wasn't even a doubt. It was always a thought. So, but then I feel like that prepares you for other shit too, because you just already have that confidence, no matter if you don't go to college or not. Like, yeah, it's disappointing if you don't go, if you have goals or whatever. But like when you transition to something, like you said, you transition to coaching, it's just like you got that standard already. You're already ready to be a great coach. Like you're not at behind. It's not even like, I'm pretty sure when you got into coaching, it wasn't even like a doubt that you were going to be a good coach or know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because you just already
Yes,
have
sir.
that mindset from football.
For sure.
It's elite. I wanted to, what you laughing at, bro?
I knew he was gonna laugh, bro. I say yes, sir, bro. It's just such a
You say yes, sir.
bro. It's a habit, bro.
Hold on.
Talking with all these Division I college coaches, bro. It's just like you just said, hold yourself to a higher standard. I got to show these cats that I'm not just some black kid from the
No,
streets.
that's how when I be talking to people, I always say that shit too. Well, I wanted to ask, like, kind of transitioning into the coaching aspect. As far as like when you started coaching, I mean, I kind of already like gave you an answer. You already knew it, but like, how was the thought process on like when you started coaching? Or let's just go back to actually like where was your first coaching job? When did you start coaching?
So my first job, I was 19. Nate Moore offered me a coaching job to coach the freshman, offensive, defensive line, and then help with I was a varsity assistant as well, assisting the D line with JP Simon, who's the D line coach there today.
So how was that experience? And like, can you give just like a little insight on like how the players was, like how do you, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, how was the experience
Sure,
of
no.
doing that?
Obviously, I mean it was amazing. Just being honest, just having that orange and black on and still being able to do what I love to do. Being able to pass down that knowledge to them kids. But one of the hardest things was, I'm not gonna lie, and sometimes I still struggle with it to this day. I was 19 years old coaching 16, 17, and 18-year-old kids. And when I graduated from high school, I mean, I was a clown in high school. I liked to play around. I liked to joke around, make jokes, have fun. And making that transition from being their friends and playing football with them on the field and to being a coach and making them respect what I say, and it's not always time to play around, was difficult.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that I'm still learning to this day. I'm a funny guy. I love to joke around, but I think now it's night and day to where it was when I was a kid, 19-year-old kid coaching football. That now when it's time to go, it's time to go. And that's what players love about me. I'm a player's coach. But at the end of the day, when it's time to buckle them chin straps and knock some stuff loose, then it's time to go and do what we got to do.
No, and that that was like one thing with me. Like when I got into training, like because I was working with like, you know, like some of the dudes, like I was working with like Kai, Trey, Tyree, and it was like, you know, like I just graduated, I was just playing with them. They were sophomores, we were
For
seniors, so
sure.
it was like they always seemed like the goofy, the childish Dejan, like, so like they didn't get to see like, okay, like the business side of me. So it was hard, like that transition. So it was like you kind of had to like low key, like, I don't want to say recreate, but like you had to low key show, like, you know, rebuild your character a little bit with them, and like especially because you're getting into like, you know, your professional side. But I think as the, you know, time's going, as you just set that, you got to just set the tone like off rip, like with them, and just kind of like show them. But and I kind of want to go back to what was like some shit, damn, what was some like struggles, like what was some struggles when you first started coaching? Like, I know you said that, of course, but like, was it like, did you have any struggles with like transitioning from like, you know, like being a coach, as in like teaching technique and different things like that, or was it just like, oh, natural? Yeah, you played it, but like coaching and playing is like two different things. Did you have like that struggle at all with that, or?
For sure. I mean, there was obviously natural struggles just from being able to teach the technique. But I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I played D line my whole life, and when I got to Massillon for my first coaching job, I coached D line. So I really, literally just took all the things over the years that I learned from Coach Joe Pierce when he coached D line, to Sean Crable when he coached D line, to Coach Cups when he coached D line, and I just put it all in one. And there was, I mean, I know there was nights where I've talked with G. Dejan over things that what we can do to get better as a unit for my group, and you also gave me some pointers and tips over some things to help technique wise, and I just kind of just put all these informational techniques and rules and regulations that I've learned from over the years from these college coaches and high school coaches into one. And I just kind of came up with my own philosophy and how we do things. And I mean, that's just how football is today, really. All these defenses and just everybody else's defense, just putting in the one defense.
Yeah. Did you want me to go?
You
So I want to go back real quick and just tell a story, because I don't know if he know this, but I don't know if anybody know this. So me and him was originally supposed to go to school together, to JUCO together. So we had went and visited and everything, and I remember like he had already like knew the coaches, so he already kind of had like a bond, I guess you could say, a relationship with the coach. And I remember, so we went and visited. Mind you, we like coming from Massillon going to a JUCO that just started. They started up in like 2014. So we go and visiting. They showing us all the nice shit. I'm like, but we still like, oh hell nah. Like, what you mean? Like, nigga, like, this is it? This is the stadium? Like, they didn't even have a like a stadium. I think like they had a practice field, but they didn't have a stadium like their game. So I'm like, nigga, what? We visited the cafeteria. We visited. I'm like, oh hell no. So this was just on the visit. So on the visit, I'm like, no, I'm not going. Mind you, it's probably like a week before signing day. I'm still not with it. I'm like, he persuaded me low key, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go. So we end up both committing, and it's like 2 days before we supposed to leave. They go, we supposed to follow each other down there. I hit this nigga up, he not answering. So that's day one that go by. Nigga, it's the day before we supposed to leave. He still not answering. It's the day we leave. He like, mind you, we supposed to be roommates and everything. He like, yeah, bruh, I'm not going to that shit. So I'm like, nigga, what? So I'm like, nigga, what? So mind you, I'm like, fuck it. Like, I'm gonna just thug it out. I'm sorry, low key, but I'm gonna thug it out. So I get there, bruh, and there's over 100+ kids. Like, there's hella kids. Like, way more than what they told us. Mind you, they told us like we didn't have to pay, like everything was paid for. So I'm thinking like I didn't know nothing about financial aid. I ain't know nothing about signing up for classes. I'm thinking they did all that. So I get there, bruh, and nigga, I ain't got classes. I don't got financial aid. Nigga, they don't even have me down like as a enrolled into the school. I didn't know. I thought if you got a scholarship, you didn't have to apply to the school. I didn't know that. Like, I just thought like you automatically, like, if you told niggas you was coming, you still have to enroll and get accepted. But nigga, I didn't apply for the school or nothing. So boom, they end up figuring that all out. I get to my dorm, Mind you, they showed us the dorms. We're going past the new dorms. I'm like, hold on. Like, I said, I thought I was getting the new dorm. Y'all told me on the visit. They're like, no, your shit down there. So, nigga, I kid you not. If you ever watched The Wire, nigga, that's what it looked like. Them project buildings. I'm like, oh hell no. What is this shit? My mom trying to stay positive. I'm with one of my old girlfriends. I'm with her mom. Everybody trying to everybody see it in my face. I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm pissed. So everybody like, it's not that bad. Man, bruh, nigga, you would have thought it was fees in that goddamn thing. I said, this ain't no college dorm. But I walk in there, bruh. Mind you, we supposed to have you know how you said y'all's dorms at the Ohio State, how Trail's dorm is, you walk in, you got the living area, and then the dorms are separated, and then own separate bathrooms. That's what I'm thinking I got.
Yeah.
I don't have that. Nigga, it look like a jail cell. I'm in there squeezed up with another nigga. I go, so boom, they get there. I go and I'm looking around. Mind you, I didn't even have really time because on your first day, you low-key got a tight schedule. So boom, I tell my mom and them bye. My mom see it in my face. I'm like, this shit's not gonna cut it. But I didn't want to tell her. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna thug it out. Bruh, so mind you, so the first night we have a meeting. After the meeting, we go to the cafeteria to go eat. Nigga, mind you, I didn't enroll her. I'm not in the system. So I go eat. I'm like, I'm supposed to eat. They just say your name and they just look you up. No, nigga, I wasn't in the system. They gave me one free meal. And they was like, you low-key got to figure something out. So I'm hungry for the rest of the day. I ended up having some money. I had some money saved. So I ordered the DoorDash. But I remember I went to sleep hungry. I'm pissed. I'm angry. We got to get up at 6 in the morning for a meeting. Had to go run or some shit. I remember I think I called this nigga. He didn't answer. I called the old dude, Moose, who used to mentor me. I'm like, bro, this shit's not it. I can't do it. I'm not staying here, nigga. So end up finding out I didn't have financial aid figured out, and it was too late for financial aid. So they told me I was going to have to pay out of pocket. I didn't. I'm like, bro, so I'll go to the coach. Mind you, the coach that recruited me is ducking me the whole time. He's ducking the fuck out of me because I'm trying to find this thing. I could not find this nigga until the second day. So I'm like, bro, what's going on? He like, man, we overcrowded. You just got to make that work for this semester or for a couple weeks and we'll figure something out, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, yeah. That's it, nigga. So, bruh, I get there to the next night to eat or whatever, and I'm like, boom, nigga. I go to take a shower after the meetings. Nigga, that shit looked like a gym shower. I'm talking about it was molded. I'm not even being dramatic, bro. It was so disgusted, bro. I'm like, I didn't take a shower, bro. I was there for 2-3 days. I did not take a shower because it was so disgusting, bro. I was like, I can't do it. I remember, nigga, I called my mom. I'm like, I gotta go home or come home. She like, I was already waiting for you to call me. My college career lasted for 3 days. That lasted for 3 days, bro. I remember I was staying in my room for a week. Nigga, I didn't talk. I didn't come out, bro. I was embarrassed. I was pissed. I'm like, I wanted to whip the coach's ass. Oh, bro, I was mad at this nigga. I was mad at everybody, bro. But to find out, I guess what happened was they said they end up basically offering 100 kids. They told 100 kids, if y'all come here, we give y'all a scholarship. Thinking out of that 100, probably 40 or 50 was going to come. But I guess what happened was, nigga, out of that 100, they told they was going to give full rise to, nigga, 70, 80 niggas came. I remember, bro, they had 3 niggas in a 2-bed. They was in the 2-bed, dorm and everything, bro. Niggas was leaving left to right up there, bro. But I remember my college career lasted for 3 days, bro. But me and this nigga was supposed to go together.
That's one thing about Massillon. Massillon is great. Massillon is great, but they will spoil your ass and make you think something nice is terrible. I know a dude that went to Michigan State, bro. Left Michigan State because it wasn't up to par with Massillon.
That's wild.
Shit. Man, that nigga. But man, that shit was crazy. But did you have a question for him, or you about to say something?
Oh, I was just about to ask about his coaching career again. So after your time at Massillon, did you transition to how long were you at Massillon, and then when did you transition to your next job?
Yeah, so I was at Massillon for a year, and then I transitioned from a freshman D-line coach And I wanted to venture out and get my own job. I took a job at St. Thomas Aquinas under a dude named Mike Cook. He's not a DC at Glen Oak, as the D-line coach on the varsity staff, and I was there for a year as well. I had 3 or 4 All-Ohio guys. I had Dejan there with me training the kids as well. And we made it to the 4th round of the playoffs. It's been the farthest they made since like 85 with Jack Rose, 1985. So that was COVID year, actually.
You said COVID?
That was COVID year.
Oh, damn. You said you had 3 All-Ohio dudes?
3 All-Ohio D-linemen, yeah. First year as a D-line coach on the varsity staff, and 3 All-Ohio D-linemen.
Then, what was the transition after that? So, like, explain all the transitions to where you at now.
Okay, so I was at Aquinas for a year, and then I had an opportunity to take a jump to take my first college job at the University of Akron. Did some recruiting stuff there, did some filming stuff there, assisted the defensive line with Brian Cochran. Was there for a year. The staff got let go. Tom Marth got let go, and the whole staff came in. They brought in Joe Moorhead, who was the offensive coordinator at Oregon. Was going to stay on staff there. That's when Dejan ended up taking a job with Debo. I was going to stay on staff with Dejan and Debo, but some things that happened where I was able to take a job at Walsh University, Division II school. First head position coach job there, or first head college position coach. I coached outside linebackers. Was crazy, man. It was crazy because I'm a D-line guy, and as a D-line guy, all you got to do is worry about your gap. I remember Coach Pierce and Coach Cubs always preaching, no matter what, don't get your big ass out that gap. That's all you got to do is worry about this gap. And then I moved to outside backer at Walsh, and I was lost. I'm talking about you involved in all types of pass coverages. You got to drop back and play cover 3, cover 4, cover 2. You got to play cover 1, man techniques. And I'm like, yo, like this shit is hard. Like I don't know nothing about pass. And then I ended up just grinding. I mean, there was long nights, early mornings. I know I talked with Dejan a lot, just grinding, read coverages and how to play certain techniques and stuff like that because I never done it before. Then we ended up not having a successful season. First year at Walsh, we went 1-9, but luckily our defense was a top 50 defense in the country. We were ranked 47th in the country at defense. Unfortunately, we were last on offense. But I ended up having an all GMAC outside linebacker, only kid on the team that was all GMAC. It was the Great Midwest American Conference, like Ashland, Tiffin, Findlay, a couple powerhouses. And he was first team all GMAC with a guy named Michael Ayers, plays for the Philadelphia Eagles right now. He was player of the year in GMAC, so that was his co guy that was an outside backer. And then I left. Me and my fiance, we decided to expand the family. I'm working on having a child right now. So with that, I mean, college football takes a lot of time and commitment. And she was real with me. She said, if this is what we going to do, brother, listen, you can't be being in the office all day, so you got to take a step back. And, I mean, this is what I want. I'm excited to start the family and expand the family. So decided to take that step back, and that's when I was searching around. First call was to Massillon, obviously, with their hometown roots, and playing under Nate and coaching under them as well, but their staff was full. Called a couple other schools, but one of the things that I told myself was I'm not going to allow myself to go and coach somewhere at a place where I think is not successful and doesn't do the right things. So I called around a couple other Federal League team schools, and I had a great relationship with Antonio Hall because my uncle, Ellery Moore, is his cousin. So I gave my uncle a call and said, hey, can you set me up with a job at Camp McKinley? Being from Massillon, I know it's a big rivalry, but at the end of the day, growing up in Massillon, we respect Canton McKinley just for who they are, because at the end of the day, there ain't no football, there ain't no Massillon without McKinley, and there ain't no McKinley without Massillon. So I decided to take a job there, and it was a big reason I'm taking a job was being able to still stay in contact with those college coaches. So Antonio offered me the director of college recruiting role. And then on top of it, I get to coach outside linebackers again. And Dejan knows him. I coach a kid named Dante McClellan, a 5-star athlete. Offers from USC, Tennessee, big time kid. And I mean, it's a great opportunity to correct him and get him going in the right direction.
That's a crazy ass transition from being that young and not having all that success that early.
Sure.
That's dope to hear. So going back to transitioning to an outside linebacker coach, like, can you explain again, like, you started to like talk on it real briefly, like explain the difference of just being from D line to going to outside linebackers coach, and like the difference of what they got to do as outside linebackers? Because I actually got a kid that's going from he went from DB to outside linebacker, but I was trying to explain to him, like, as an outside linebacker, you're a D lineman and a DB. Like,
For sure.
you're both. Like, so you got to know gaps, you got to know what the D line doing, and then you got to know coverage as well. And then outside linebacker, I'm telling him, because in high school right now, at his outside linebacker position, it's like he drops in coverage, but then he's rushing or whatever. I'm like, when you play outside linebacker in college, but you have to play man. You play man on tight ends and running backs and stuff too. So it's like it's a lot that comes with linebacker for sure. So can you elaborate on that?
Definitely. I mean, I'm definitely thankful that I coached outside linebackers at the college level before I did at the high school level, because I think if it was the opposite way around, if I coached high school football first, then went to college, I think I would have struggled a lot more, just because in the college world, it's a lot different. Guys are a lot better, obviously, as you know. Guys are very, very fast, can move on a dime. So in certain situations, as an outside linebacker, we ran a 3-4 at Walsh and we ran a 3-4 at McKinley. So my short side of the field, outside linebacker, which at Walsh is called a bandit, at McKinley it's called a bird. He's kind of a hybrid defensive end type of guy. He's a guy that can play on the line of scrimmage, put his hand in the dirt, rush the passer, play his run fit really, really hard. And he's in the boundary, so he doesn't have much space that he has to cover. But then he also has to drop into the boundary and play get under one. We played a coverage called match coverage, which is where you really play two, and wherever two go, if he goes out, you match two. If he goes vertical, you carry him for 10 to 12 yards and then zone off. And then if he goes inside, then you pass him to the inside guy. And on the opposite side of the field, we had it's called a Viper at McKinley. It's called a Star at Walsh. That's where I kind of struggled, because now you got a nickel or a DB, a safety plan, and it's a lot of field over there, a lot of ground that you got to cover. I mean, you got to fold in and play your C gap, or sometimes you got to fold in and play the B gap, and then you got to drop and get under one, get under two, or possibly number three, and just learning how to do that. Like I said, I never knew nothing about coverages. So if we're playing cover three and the safety is rolling to the other side and you're on the RPO side, now you're always taught as an outside linebacker, you're a run first player. But if they're running RPO and you get a run action and you got to play that number two receiver and that safety's rolling to the other side of the field, now you got to change from being a run first player to now, okay, I got to play the RPO in a blink of a second. And that just comes with film and studying and playbook and things like that. But that was one of the biggest struggles for me, was just recognizing what coverage you're in and what you could get from that coverage, from what set they're in, and just learning, like you said, man technique. I've never played man coverage in my life, ever. and I had to study and get the and feel confident enough for me to tell this kid this is what you need to do. And all them kids are 200 pounds from 160 to 215, and then I'm over here at 285 trying to tell this dude how to play coverage. So I had to really buckle down on what I had to tell him and what I had to teach him, because I mean if Dejan was teaching me what to do at outside linebacker, how to play man coverage, I'm gonna look at him like he's goofy. But I just had to, like I said, buckle down and learn it and learn how to adapt. And that's basically what it is. Is I just had to learn how to coach outside backers and player specific run fits and pass coverage and things like that.
That shit is crazy because, like you said, that the difference of the outside linebackers, like, it's crazy. The major difference just off of position, like in the field and to the boundary. Like you said, one's like a hybrid, play D line or D end, and then drop into coverage and stuff. And then you got the other one that's damn near like a safety / nickel and a linebacker at the same time. So it's like coaching outside linebackers, you coach them like 3 different positions for real.
For sure, it's difficult. It was difficult at first, but the more I got comfortable with it, and the more I got confident in with myself that I knew what I was talking about, the easier it's got. And I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in without some of the guys. Dejan's one of them, just teaching me things that he knows, and other guys teaching me things they know, and it's just I'm a lot of guys molded into one.
Yeah, that's the key, bro. Like, the key is knowing like what you know to give that knowledge back, of course. But then, like, if you don't know something, don't try to act like you know. Like, seek out for help. Like, don't try to be that person that just, I know everything, or I'm going to just figure it out on my own. Like, if you know somebody that can help you get, like, yourself better, one, but if you know somebody that can help you get a player better or anything, like, don't be a ego coach. Like, I know a lot of coaches that are ego coach. Like, I had a coach in the league. This man was fucking, he had to be like 5'4", 5'5", bro. 5'6" at the most. And he was probably like 260, 270. Didn't even have ankles. And he was my defensive coordinator. And he's telling me how to play corner. Like, come on, bro. You're not about to tell me how to play corner. Like you said, like, if you're looking at Dejan, he telling you how to play press man, like, you'd be like, bro, what? Like, think about that. Like, I'm looking at this nigga in the league. Like, I made it to the NFL, and I got a short little punk ass nigga trying to tell me how to play fucking press coverage. Like, come on, bro, get the fuck out of my face. So, but just knowing, like, if you have that opportunity to learn or grow from somebody else, like, because you don't know something, like, take that step, because it's more important for the player to understand and get the best coaching, like, not just because you want to have an ego. So I commend you for seeking out to other people to help your players get better, for sure.
No, I appreciate that.
And that's the good thing too. Like, you're young, like, we're young, bro. Like, and like, we jumped in like to that game early of like the coaching and the training, and that was the biggest thing. Like, bro, like, we would always hit each other up and be like, bro, I don't know what the fuck. Like, I don't know how to do this shit. And it was like we was always so real with each other, and I think like we would help each other. Like, it was always like, oh no, bro, you gotta do this, or no, you better hit him up. And I think that was like what helped us. And like, cause like, you gotta think we was 19, and like that whole journey of like, bro, even when we came home, like, we was always on each other. Like, we was together damn near every day. Like, what we gonna do? What we gonna figure out? Like, we was always staying on each other's ass. Like, and I think that's one thing that was so good about our relationship. Like, we was always honest with each other. If it was some bullshit we was doing, if I was doing some ignorant shit, you would always call me out on it. If I was about to do some hot ass shit, you was like, bro, chill. And I just think that just helps, because like, you know, we were surrounding ourselves around people that was helping us succeed. Like, you was always around like Coach Moore, like at that time, trying to learn, trying to pick up knowledge. And now look, like, bro, like, and you didn't let none of the side feedback, none of that shit affect you. And I know at that time, like when I was when we was 19, like, I was ready to argue with a nigga. Like, I was
Right.
somebody said something like I was pissed, ready to like go at it, and like you would just like wouldn't react off that shit, and like you would just keep growing and keep pushing from that shit, and like to hear your journey now, bro, like that shit is great, and like bro, only niggas is
Appreciate
only
it.
24, so it's just like just
You had
imagine where the
people
journey
hating on
gonna
you?
be at now.
Yeah, no, for sure. I
Man,
mean,
what?
it was like I said, I was 19, 20 years old. Uh, definitely, I personally, I mean, everybody thinks this, but I thought I was a Division I athlete. Should have been in college playing football somewhere, but I was at home. Like a bunch of people, old heads, like I said, old heads told me back in the day when I was in high school, do these things, and I was considered one of those guys. And I was at home coaching football and being 19 years old coaching 18-year-old kids. I think that definitely helped me when I got to Wash because I was 23 years old coaching a player that was 24. So it was definitely tough, but it definitely helped me in the long run because, I mean, like I said, like Dejan said earlier, I walked into the room and let everybody know, like, listen, I'm 23 years old. Some of y'all dudes are older than me, but I'm here for a reason. If I wasn't here, if I didn't deserve to be here, then I wouldn't be here. Um, and some of those guys became really good, and some of those guys ended up not being as good as they thought. But I had a kid that, like I said, he was 24. He was the only kid that was older than me. He was 24 years old, and he respected me like I was 45 years old, and I had a coaching experience in the league. And it benefited him because, like I said, his name was Stephen Ball. He's an all GMAT kid. Had opportunities to play in the USFL this past year. Broke tons of records at Walsh, and he was a kid that I definitely commend, and I have a ton of respect for as well. Just because it's tough when you're in you got 3 position coaches out of 4 years, and the guy that they just brought in is 24 years old. Or 23 years old. I'm sorry, he's 24, and it was just tough, but we got it done. And
No, and I think that too, like, and I think that was the biggest thing. We were young, and like the presence made people uncomfortable because we were young and we were in positions that took them years to get. And like I think
sure,
that's what irritated people so much, bro. Like because we were young and in positions that took them years to get to, and that was the biggest thing, bro. Like we never had no old head. You know, me and him always speak on that, but like we never had that old head look out because you got to think like when we came back home from college, man, I can think of 2 niggas right now that was like, I knew y'all niggas wasn't gonna be able to stay there, like laughing. And it was so funny because me and you were so like childish to a sense, like we didn't even know like they was just on some like negative shit.
yep,
Like we thinking they just clowning, but really they was really on some negative shit because they was really trying to play us for real. Like they was trying to play us like laughing in our face. But like, bro, like we just never like we was so childish and just didn't really realize that at the time. And two, like we just figured it out. Bro, I remember we would be in your basement all day, every day, like trying to figure some shit out. We like, and it's so funny, bro. We did that whole like transition together from the college to working midnights with the MRDD people to go on to community college,
Y'all was working
dropping
together?
out. Yes,
bro. We used to clown, bro. We literally used to work at the
bro.
Midwest, bro, and I used to take my game system in there, and we used to play the game.
Clients in there and sleep. Niggas in there like, oh, hold on, wait, let me not say certain shit. I forgot. Get it over that shit. Hey, but no, bruh, we can cut this shit out. But man, the shit we used to do, them
Bro,
houses,
Man.
niggas would be in there asleep. Bro, we used to invite our niggas over to come play the game at these niggas' houses.
bro,
Like I'm talking about, we used to be in
no,
the living room deep.
Man, I feel like
Eating
everybody
out,
that did that shit, bro.
bruh.
I
Like,
remember
it used to be crazy.
Quan and Dre and them used to work at the shits.
bruh. Niggas would be
funny.
high on this shift. Like, bros was just, but it was so funny though because we would always look out for the clients.
Man.
And like, man, that job was so funny. And it's so funny though, because like this nigga helped me get that job. And like Brett always threw the oop. And now that I think about it, like you always was trying to get me involved in whatever you was doing. When you was at McKinley, when you was at Akron, when you was coaching at Massillon, but I refused to go there at the time. But
No,
like you was
100%.
always
Man,
trying to like get me to do shit with you. And like always like, nah, bro, you should try this. But I was always just at the time like I don't know. I don't want to coach. Like I didn't care to coach. Like I didn't care to be involved with football. I was thinking in my head, nigga, I'm still trying to play. But I wasn't
Facts.
working out or like grinding for it. I was here and there, but I wasn't consistent with it, nigga. It was like I'm still trying to go to college ball, nigga. I'm not trying to coach, nigga. I'm still trying to get into it.
Yeah.
But like he was always showing love with it, bro. But and I kind of want to go into that a little bit. How is that role of like, coaching, but also like being a mentor? I kind of want to speak with you because like one, I feel like that's probably a big culture shock from coaching at Massillon and then coaching at McKinley. Cause it's like you play multiple roles at being a Massillon coach, but like you play multiple roles at McKinley. You had to be like really involved with those kids. So how was that like playing that? Was that a struggle going from Massillon to McKinley? Like how was that for you?
I mean, it wasn't a struggle. What I struggled with the most, and a lot of people that are close to me know this, I'm a guy that loves that people love me. Like, I'm a guy that I don't try to hurt nobody's feelings. And it has kind of bit me in the ass here and there sometimes. But I'm a guy that loves to make guys be like, damn, Edwin Glick is a great guy. And it's kind of been, it used to kind of bite me in the ass. Now I'm kind of in a position to where I'm like, who cares? But when I first got to McKinley, one of the things that I was scared of was how are people going to react? Like I said, born and raised in Massillon, my blood orange and black, and it was always forget the other side. When I took the job at McKinley, I took it for one reason and one reason only. But there was always that thing in the back of my head, like, damn, what are people going to say about me? So I struggle with that. I'm not gonna lie. I felt Nate Moore. He had a big impact in my life as a junior and senior. Did a lot of things for me that he didn't have to do for me, and took care of some things that he didn't have to take care of, and let me sleep in his house whenever I had to in certain situations. But I was kind of scared of what I thought he was going to react. Now it's different where I'm a little older and stuff like that, and he's congratulating me on some things and things like that. But that was kind of the biggest thing I was scared of. But the reason I took the job at Camp McKinley is because I coach football in general to change kids' lives. When I coached at college in Akron and I coached at Walsh, we always met with the parents, and I was always just honest. And to me, football is a bonus. You have fun, you happen to be good at it, and you go out and have fun, and that's just that cherry on the top. Football for me is turning these boys into men, showing them the pathway of how to become a person. Like I said, I feel I'm a very successful young black man. I'm 23 years old. I've coached at two college football programs. I've coached at two of the most historic high schools in the country. And again, I don't think that I didn't get here by getting a handout. I'm here for a reason. And I'm just trying to continue to lead these young black men over here at Canton, McKinley, and Caucasian men as well also. But trying to lead these boys to become men. I can't say that. I'm gonna leave that out. Let me restart.
Bro, that's real.
At the end of the day, though, I'm just trying to, like I said, like it's hard over here. I love that at Massillon. I cherish them moments forever. But I was told by a person back in the day that he is where he is today because he woke up and he knew that people needed him. I tell McKinley I wake up every morning and I'm excited to go to work because I know that I got an opportunity to change one of these kids' lives.
Yeah.
And that's why I do what I do. And I love what I do because at the end of the day, I got the biggest opportunity to make change outside of that parent in his life. And I'm able to lead him down certain paths that other people aren't, and that's why I do what I do, bro. Like I live for this stuff. I live to give these guys the best opportunity possible and be the best mentor possible that I can be.
And what you said, bro, like it's real, bro. Like it ain't siding with one side. It ain't being like, oh, I'm just coaching the black kids more than the white kids or nothing like that. It's the facts. It's the statistics. Like
Right.
at Canton McKinley, when you think about the kids from Canton, like it's the black kids that are struggling. It's the black kids that are hurting. It's the black kids that are really good at sports and end up not being able to go because they get fucked off by the hood or some people that they don't fucking really need to be around or whatever. Like it
Yep.
it just is what it is. Like, yeah, you coach, you still, like you say, you're coaching the white kids too or whatever race. It ain't about race. It's just about, it comes to a race thing when it's like there's more majority of black kids that get up in a fucked up situation. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yep.
understand what you meant by when you said it. Like, and I think people will understand. And then you always get people that don't understand or will say some shit or say some hate shit, whatever. But you got to be real and you got to be transparent with shit. Like, and white kids will know, or white parents will know, and black kids will know, or black parents will know. Like, there may be a white kid that's struggling as well. You gonna help that kid the same way you would help a black kid. There's just more
Yep.
majority of black kids that are struggling and that have that rep in Canton. Like, you don't hear about a lot of white kids in gangs and all that shit in Canton. You hear about black kids. So
For sure.
you're coaching more, or you're changing more black kids' lives than white kids' lives. Like, that's a statistic of life. It is what it is. So I
Yep.
respect you for just even changing any kids' lives of any race. Like, but definitely helping them young black men around there, because a lot of motherfuckers around there won't do that shit, and they aren't
Right.
still, and then they'll want to come talk and say something about you or whatever or whoever, but they won't step in or step up for any of those kids, and it's crazy because it'd be family members of the kids and all type of shit that won't step up and just lead them down the wrong path or just let them be around the shit. I think that's the most common thing around like the city, not even just Canton, but like just in general of kids in bad areas or whatever. It's like the people who are influencing them. It's not even that they're telling them to come be a game banger or whatever. It's that they're not showing them that they shouldn't do it. They're not telling them to not do it or not be around it. Like
Right.
you can have a kid that's fucking, you be like, oh man, stay playing ball, like whatever. But letting them come around you in the streets, letting them come around you when it's a drive by, letting them come around you when you making drug deals or whatever. Like, you letting them be around the shit, that's just as bad as you telling them to come do the shit. Because kids get hit by stray bullets when they around shootouts. Kids get in jail if they in the car with you when you got a dirty gun, or if you got weed on you, if you got drugs on you, whatever. Like, it's the motherfuckers that's around that's not even telling them to not be around. Like, them be the ones
For
who
sure.
get them in trouble the most. But again, like, I just commend you for wanting to change kids' lives around there, because there's a lot of people around there that aren't doing the shit.
For sure. No, I appreciate it. I really do. It means a lot.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask about like the transition to um like McKinley. Obviously you said like you feared like what people were gonna say. Like, was there anybody that did say anything? Like, was there anybody
Yeah.
that like,
I
or was
mean,
there
yeah, there
people
was
that was
naturally.
talking shit or saying anything?
Yeah, I mean, there was naturally guys. There was people that spoke about being a trader and going over to McKinley and things like that. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm here for one reason and one reason only. I was blind to it at first, but the more that I've gotten, the more that I've been around the staff and being around guys like Antonio Hall and being around the kids, it's opened
Mm-hmm.
my eyes a ton. This is a place that needs change, and they need it bad. They need it fast. I truly believe that God put me in a position and laid me down this path. I literally would never ever guess that I'd be coaching at Canton McKinley. Just growing up how I grew up and bleeding orange and black, but like I said, there's got to be God leading me down this path and trying to change these kids' lives because I mean, there's no other way possible. I don't think there's no other explanation for me being in coaching for Cam McKinley. And
Definitely understand that.
for sure, so I don't, like I said, it's for me, it's not even about football anymore. I mean, I coach football. I like to think that I'm good at it, but that's just a bonus. Being out on the field and teaching these kids how to play football is a bonus for me. What I'm really here for is to teach these dudes how to become men and lead them down the right path and help them become what I like to think that I am, a successful man. And teach them how to be the best cousin, uncle, nephew, brother, and hopefully soon down the road, husband or the father.
Yeah. That's the same shit I be preaching to the kids that I train. Uh, I be training kids. I started training because Dejan for real. I would come back home and he'd be training kids, and I would just pull up to some workouts and just seeing it, and I was just like, man, I want to do this shit like to the kids around here, where I'm at, and I be preaching the same shit to them, bro. Like it's more than football. Like football, I feel like the greatest thing about football is it teaches you like how to go about life. Like
For
it's
sure.
so many things. There's responsibility, it's accountability, it's teamwork, it's emotions that go high and low. There's bad plays, good plays. That's just like bad events in your life, good events in your life. It's ups and
Mm-hmm.
downs. It's hard work. It's grind. It's bloodshed. It's tears shed. It's all types of shit, bro. It's a grind. Like it's just it teaches you about life. Like so, I feel like you said, it's just more than just football. Football is a bonus. Like shit, even for me. Like when I was in high school, I was a hooper, and then when I played football, I was just like, man, I want to go to college and I can get a full scholarship. It wasn't even about me playing football. It was about like going to college for free. So my mom didn't have to
Yep.
pay for fucking college. But football was a bonus reason. And it was the reason why I could go to college. And then I ended up being good at it and like taking it further. But it was like, that wasn't my reason of playing football, like, or to go to college for football. It was just like, man, I just want to get a scholarship. Like, I want to better my life, but football is a way to better my life. So I definitely understand like what you mean by like, it's more than football. Football is a bonus. It's a privilege, but
Yep.
it's way more than just football, bro. Like, and I be trying to preach that to these kids too. Like, and I feel like they're entitled out here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you ever come out here, bro, you would just see the shit that they got, bro. Like spring ball one. Like, I don't. Is it still a rule that y'all can't put pads on till August?
No, so they just passed a thing last year where you can have 15 days of spring ball, and you can
Oh,
only use
okay,
those
that's dope.
days however you want to use them, basically.
Yeah. Oh, that's dope. Well, shit, you said last year though.
Yeah, so last year was the first year they did it, and this will be the second year coming
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, but that's what last year. That's 2022. Like
Yep.
they've had spring ball forever. Like they got spring ball out here. They had 707. Like all the stuff we're getting now in Ohio. Like it's the stuff that they've been had out here, bro. Like
Yeah.
But
the 707s, the football, the spring ball, the fucking trainers and all that shit. I don't even know if there's still more trainers coming about out there for football, but there's a fucking trainer within 10 miles of each direction out here, like for each position. Well, not every position, but
man,
most skill positions for sure, and then quarterbacks. But there's trainers everywhere. Just the access to the fields, like the schools are open, bro. Like I train, he trained. We train at the schools. Like I told him, like
Right.
in Ohio, bro. If it was no practice, there was no going to the field. You're not
Facts.
allowed on the school field, bro. Like I'm literally training at the middle school, the high school. There's hurdles out there. There's tackling dummies. There's fucking sleds.
Huge.
Like just on the field, bro. Just out there. Like it's just crazy. So I'm like, bro, y'all gotta understand, like the shit that y'all got. Y'all need to be one. I don't understand. I tell them like I don't understand how y'all not even good. Like if you got all this shit and you not good, that just means you ain't putting in the work. But then two,
Facts.
y'all gotta understand like there's people out here that don't have this shit, so y'all should appreciate it more because, like, man, where we come from, we don't got all that shit. Like,
Right.
that shit is crazy. What you about to say, Dejan?
no, I was gonna say, so spring ball out here, they wear pads, right? Or they don't wear pads.
Hell yeah, they do spring ball like
See,
college. They
back
have
home they don't wear pads,
practices.
right?
I was about to
No,
say,
you can
probably don't.
wear pads now. Um, it's basically like
But did they do it
practices.
last year though?
And you can do. Yeah, they wore pads last year for. Well, what a lot of schools are
Oh,
doing
okay.
is they will add them 15 days of spring practice to the front of their schedule so they can just have more practice time with pads on and stuff like that.
Oh, in August.
So
Like in the fall?
so like instead of doing it
Oh, okay.
in May or March or April, they just added 15 days to August 1st, and now they got an extra 15 days of practice that other schools don't got.
That's
Gotcha.
dope. That's dope that they even passed it though, because man, they could really. I mean, I feel like what's crazy now that I think about it. If you just look at like football this year, like I don't know, like statistically, but it just Ohio football just looked better this year than it did the last couple years. You know what I'm saying? Like
No, I agree.
St. Ed's, Massillon, like y'all,
Shit, Canton
the
South,
Cincinnati
like
teams, and yeah, Canton South, yeah, that's crazy. Damn,
man,
I even
that's really
heard,
crazy.
damn, there was another team around there that was supposed to be like decent.
Glenville went
Medina.
back to back. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Medina ain't no
Glenville.
joke.
Medina, they said Medina was good this year. And then I seen the quarterback was like leading passing yard. It was just I seen him in like stats and everything. And I was just like
Right.
Medina. But that's crazy that you said that they passed that and like they got more time to do shit. Like, and that's what I'm saying, like to them, like the fact that y'all got they have spring ball and then they have a spring game. Like that
Yeah,
shit is
that's
crazy, bro. Like
crazy.
y'all got all this shit.
And then these
I
niggas
That's
could
what
got
not
we do in
practice.
imagine that.
college, bro. We do
Then
that
they
shit
got
in
practice
college.
during
Like,
school. That's crazy too to me,
oh
bro.
yeah,
Like,
we was learning about that shit too. So these niggas, they got an hour and a half of fifth period where they get to do. So like, say it's raining after school.
Right.
They'll practice. Say you look at the schedule, right? And you a coach, right? So say you look at the weather for the day, and it's about to rain after school. So you want to practice in the fifth period instead of after school. They have a whole practice during the fifth period,
What?
hour and a half. And then say the fucking rain clear up or something. You still can have that practice after school after that. Like it's crazy,
Sheesh.
bro. So, but they do like weight training. So yesterday or today, this week they're doing like their maxes and shit. So they'll have like a whole workout during fucking fifth period. So then like they can
That's
do their
some
workout and
movement right
lift, and
there.
then they can have practice after school, or they can flip it. Like
You could
it's
hit the
it's
film. You
crazy,
could hit
bro.
the film study
Watching
during fifth
film,
period.
all type of shit. Watching
That's the
film,
money right
like
there. Film,
they
bro.
got so much shit. They got so much shit out here, bro, and they don't even utilize it, bro. Like I'll be
Sheesh.
watching film with them. I was watching film with them this week, and I'm just going through shit, and I'm like, they don't tell y'all that? They're like, no. Like I'm just like, bro, there's no way. You got an hour and a half during school. You got time after school. Like y'all not going over shit like this. Like it's just wild. The
Damn.
entitlement is crazy out here, bro. But that is wild that you said that they passed that last year, and I feel like me personally, I see better football this year than the last couple of
Right.
years, and
No,
maybe
yeah,
it's because of
they
that because
passed it.
they're
I'm
starting to
hoping that
pass
they
more
get on
shit.
the 7-on-7 train.
Yeah, I heard they was. I heard they were. I heard they already passed something like to where they was doing
I
something
think
with
it was up towards
707 or
Cleveland
something
though.
like that. It was in
Yeah, so
Cleveland.
they
I think it was like
passed. They passed
some
it through
Cleveland.
OSHA. They passed it through OSHA where you can start doing it July 1st. So you basically got 30 days only to play 7-on-7.
Yeah, they need to do that. Well, I mean it's hard, but I mean I guess they would just have to start building like domes and shit because the winter. But they definitely need to get something cracking in the winter time, the winter /
For
spring.
sure.
Because even what I'm telling them now, it's to the point. Because I mean, shit. I don't know if y'all felt like that, but when I was in high school, we played football, basketball, ran track because you wanted to stay in shape, whatever. Now it's to the point where, yeah, you should run track if you want to like stay in shape, get your speed right, whatever. But now it's to the point where like you could focus on a single sport with all this access, all the trainers, all the shit
Yep.
that you have access to now. So it's like they should be passing shit to where you should be able to play 7-on-7 during the spring and during the winter
Sure.
and building more shit for them to do football year round. Because it's like now we getting to the point where it's like I'm not about to be playing basketball if I know I'm about to go to college for football. Because kids are getting recruited in 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade and shit. So it's like
Man,
if I know I'm about to go to college for football, basketball, track, baseball, whatever, like I'm about to focus on that. Like I'm not about to be doing all this extra shit. So it need to be access for kids to do stuff for football year round for sure. Like
No,
they
I
need to get
agree.
on board with that. What
damn,
is
that
a
is crazy. They are getting offers in the 8th grade. When
Yeah,
Gio got
bro,
that
that
shit,
shit's
I was like,
wild.
what the fuck? Yeah, Gio, he got an offer. But bruh is gonna be a
Yeah,
top
Jordy or
prospect at
something.
receiver, but still. Yeah,
He got
like
an offer for
bruh
where?
was going into his freshman year from Akron,
That's crazy. What do he play?
receiver.
Receiver. Yeah, that's wild. Getting an offer in 8th grade. Like I got my first offer in my junior
He ain't
year,
played a lick of
high
varsity
school.
yet. But no, I ain't saying it like that. Like this was up for him, but it's just crazy. Like he ain't played a lick of varsity yet, and like he got that.
Yeah, that's crazy. So what? I got a
He jumping
question
on
for
kid.
like the recruiting. Cause like obviously I got recruited in high school, but I know it's just way different now. You got NILs, you got different rules and all that shit now. So I just got like a couple questions. One, like, is the recruiting like the rules where they can recruit players like actively, is that still a thing? Like you gotta wait till they a certain age or a certain grade.
Right. So you're allowed to offer a kid at any age. You're not
Mm-hmm.
allowed to be established communication until their summer of their junior year
Okay.
or
And
sophomore
then
year.
like
I'm sorry.
communication is like, what do you mean? Like they can't talk to him at all, or is it just like direct contact, or like how?
You're not
What do
allowed
you
to
mean
have
by that?
direct contact. So like, if I'm coming in to offer Dejan, I gotta tell the coach, hey, we want to offer Dejan a scholarship, and the coach got to communicate that to him.
Mm-hmm. And then like,
But
so can they come to the school and talk to the kid?
technically, they're not allowed to. I mean, I know a
Yeah,
lot of
like
schools that
technically,
do.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean,
You know,
you can come to the school and they could talk to the coach. And usually, like a lot of places I've been, when I was recruiting, they would pull the kid out of the school and be like, "Hey, this
yeah,
is such and such," and you can offer them that way, but technically, you're not allowed to.
yeah. No, that's the same shit that happened when I was in high school. I just wanted to know if it was different.
Sure.
So with like, you said you got a 5-star on the team now, right now.
Yep.
So
Junior,
like, so like
2025.
with him, like, do you see like people like NIL or anything like hitting him up or anything like that? Is there stuff like that going on with him?
So in the state of Ohio, it's illegal. I mean,
Oh, it is?
yeah, in Ohio, you're not allowed to do any deal stuff with OSHA.
Okay.
Not even with not the state of Ohio. It's just OSHA. Since we're all in the league and stuff like that with OSHA, you're not allowed to
Yeah.
do anything like that. But it's getting so big to the point now where it's going. They're gonna have to make some changes here soon.
Yeah. Wait, so is it football or is it like every sport? Because I don't know if y'all know the kid Darren Peterson. He signed with Adidas.
Yep.
But I think it
Yeah.
might be different because I think you go to like a prep or something like that.
He's in West
Oh
Virginia.
yeah, he's in West Virginia. Oh yeah, so yeah, it
Yeah, he
probably
went
is
to
Ohio
where
then.
Andrew
Yeah. I
Wiggins
forgot
go.
he went to Huntington Prep. Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that
just
nigga just
Ohio
signed a
High
deal with
School
them.
Athletic Association. So if you wasn't inside that, so they control everything. So like basically, if they find out you doing something that you're not supposed to, they can suspend you indefinitely, and they gonna
Yeah,
investigate you and stuff like that. But if you're not in OSHA, then you can do whatever you want.
yeah, yeah. That's kind of like the NCAA. That's just crazy.
Locking
So
niggas
like,
paint.
it's funny, man. It's just like, why you ain't letting the kids get their opportunity? This shit is wild. I always be late to shit. I see they finally legalized weed. Like, should have been doing that shit. I don't smoke for y'all thirsties, anyways. But because people would be
Niggas are gonna
taking
be like,
shit
oh, he smokes.
to the extreme, like, oh, he probably smoking. I don't even smoke. But what was I about to ask? Oh, like recruiting. So like, as far as like you said you were the recruiting person at McKinley, right?
Yep.
So like every time a kid is getting recruited, they hit you up.
I mean, for our sophomores, I mean our juniors and seniors. For Dante personally, I kind of handle Dante's stuff from a recruiting aspect, just because he is such a high end recruit. Dante's a
Mm-hmm.
very, very calm and collected kid. The opposite of a 5-star, what I tell a lot of coaches. He
Mm-hmm.
stays out the way. He doesn't really do nothing too crazy. doesn't really talk. So from
Yeah.
that aspect, I take care of all of our kids, like game day visits.
Mhm.
I usually talk to coaches about where they're at on their recruiting board. What do they need to see more from them offensively or defensively, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But I try to take care of most of the information for them, just so they don't have to um, be involved and they can focus on school. I mean, like I said, that's
Right.
the biggest thing for me is I try to take off as much stuff off their plate as possible when it comes to recruiting, just so they can go to school. I mean, I know a lot of coaches call them and have conversations and text them and try to build that rapport and relationship. But when it
Hmm.
comes to the official stuff like transcripts and getting them to visits, I know I've taken Dante to multiple places. I've taken a couple other kids to places. So
Hmm.
when it comes to like game day visits, I try to take them personally. I know I've taken a couple kids to Akron. I've taken some kids to Eastern Michigan. Just was at Ohio State, Michigan last week with Dante. I've taken Dante to a lot of places because they're majority far. So like we've been to
Yeah.
Wisconsin, we've been to Tennessee, we've been to Michigan, Ohio State, Cincinnati,
Yeah.
and USC. Like so we I try to take care of his stuff because he's getting so much attention, but I'm also balancing everybody else because they're important too. Um,
Right.
so from that aspect, I just try to really, like I said, take on as much as possible so they can focus on school and getting whatever they need to get done.
Yeah. So like with like rivals and scouting Ohio and ESPN rankings and all that shit, like do they hit you up as well? Like when they got a kid they want to rank, like how do you get like stars or can you elaborate on shit like that?
So, I mean, I have talked with multiple agencies and stuff like that, but it's kind of, I mean, they do interview those kids when it comes to stuff like that.
Mm.
Um, they they kind of take control of of their own stuff. I let them do their own thing and they talk to those reporters and whatnot. But those agencies kind of go and do it on their own. I mean,
Yeah.
they rank their own kids and they put it how they want to put it. Um, and if at the end of the day, every college coach in America, they know if they want to ask any question about one of my athletes, then I have an open line, and I'm always open to talk. And
Yeah.
that's about any of my athletes.
Yeah. What when a coach like or not even a coach. So like when a I'm trying to think of how to ask this. So all right, for instance, like bruh is a 5-star, he's getting recruited highly. Like does a coach necessarily like I mean, that's kind of obvious. Like he checks on him more. I'm trying to see like as far as like the stars and shit, because I got a lot of kids that they're so worried about stars and shit, right? So like you said, the kid is a 5-star, but you said he's the opposite of a 5-star, like the way he acts. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
do coaches like stray away from the kids that are like 5-star and like act like that, or just like you know what I'm saying, like be cocky
Uh,
or arrogant, or like or are
for
they
my
still are
guys,
coaches still looking for kids like that are genuine, that are just good people, or are they just care, or are they just worried about the talent? That's basically what I'm
for
asking.
sure. No, yeah, and it's crazy because, like I said, he doesn't act like a 5-star. He's the exact opposite of a 5-star. We got a couple kids on our team that are not that haven't even been ranked. We got three kids on our team that are two kids that are 3 stars and one 5-star. Um,
Hmm.
Honestly, the way these coaches are coaching nowadays with the portal and stuff like that, they're just trying to find really, really good talent.
Yeah.
And these guys don't want to miss on these freshmen that they're bringing in because
Yeah.
they could bring in a kid that has proven that he can stay eligible, he can balance football and academics. And it's easy to nowadays. It's easy to throw a couple $100,000 at a kid. Um,
Hmm.
so these kids they don't want to miss on these high school athletes, and I don't know. I know that I don't know if they are not recruiting kids because they don't act like 5 stars. I know we got a bunch of really good kids. We got, like I said, a couple 3-stars, and colleges can recruit those 3-stars just like they recruit Dante.
Yeah,
They want to find really good ball players, and they don't really want to miss. I mean,
right.
I don't think anybody wants to miss.
Yeah. I was just basically asking that because, like, I feel like I feel like with Ohio State, like it's just a lot of kids that they're ranked high and they just ain't dogs. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
said good people, but I meant like just like more than just talent. You know what I'm saying? Because like everybody
Sure.
got talent, but like not everybody has talent. But when you get to college, like everybody got talent. Like
For
now
sure.
it's gonna if you a dog, that shit gonna show up. So it's like I know when I was coming out, they ended up ranking me a 4-star after I played good at the All Ohio game or the All American game, one of the two. They ended up ranking me higher, but like I was a 3-star, and it was just like most of the time in high school, and it was just like there was some 5-stars that I was better than. I remember there was a number one corner in I don't know if it was in our class or in Ohio, one of the two. But it was number one corner, and then I ended up like being better than him and all type of shit. So it was just like at the end of the day, it's about who being a dog. It ain't just about talent. So I was like, just wanted to get that aspect on like our coaches still like just trying to look for talent, or they looking for the dogs, or but I guess it depends on the program and who's recruiting for real.
No, for sure. I don't. I know these. I don't even know how they would do the recruitment star scale, because I mean, there's a couple agencies where Dante's a 3-star, 4-star. He's a 3-star.
Yeah,
Another one. And I don't know how they do it, but like you said, at the end of
yeah,
the day, these stars really don't matter, because when you get to
man,
college, that dude across from you is just as good as you are, and
right,
at the end of the day,
or
you got to
better shit.
prove for sure, and you got to prove what separates you from them,
Right,
and then that's what I'm trying to get done here at Cam McKinley is whenever these guys go to college and become successful, I'm trying to put these guys 10 steps ahead of the freshman incoming class, so they get that
right,
opportunity to take that first step before anybody else.
exactly. Because the
That's
sooner
it,
you
really.
play, the better it is for one. Obviously, you get to the league or play start or whatever. You get to play more, whatever that is.
Hmm.
But more importantly, for me, in a personal situation, the sooner you play, the more healthy you're gonna be when you go down the road of college and when you get to the league. Because you go for that red shirt year, your body's getting beat up. Obviously, yeah, you're getting like stronger and faster, all that shit, but you still taking the toll on your body. Then you end up
Right.
playing, and then you end up playing 3 years after that, or 2 years, or whatever. Like that's just adding more stuff on you, more contact, more hits, all that shit. And the name of the game in the NFL is healthy. Like availability is everything in the NFL. Like the span, I don't know if it increased, but like the normal span, the average span for NFL players, 2 years, 3 years. Like so, the like you said, the more ready you are before you get to college, like to be that step ahead, like that's gonna benefit you way more than anybody else because you come in ready. Like for instance, my example, I wasn't ready. I was never in the weight room. Like when I got to college, I redshirted. And it wasn't because like a skill thing. It was because I wasn't big enough. Like, I went there at like
Right.
165. They like, bro, you not about to play corner here. Like they looked at me like I wasn't shit. And then they treat you like, oh, you this big recruit, you this, you this, you that. Yeah, as soon as you get there, like you said, there's niggas that's across from you that's just as big, just as fast,
Hmm.
better than you, faster than you, bigger than you. Like they don't give a fuck about you if you ain't coming in there ready.
Sure. And that's something I think our head coach Antonio Hall, he was also a 5-star recruit coming out of McKinley in 2000. Was the highest rated
Mm-hmm.
5-star to go to Kentucky in Kentucky history to this day. Played a couple years in the league. Was an All American in the SEC. And I mean, we're all on the same page. We're trying to put these guys 10
Mm-hmm.
steps ahead so they can take care of what they need to take care of. And I mean, if any kid that's going D1 has aspirations to play in the league. So we're trying to put them in the best position possible to make that happen.
Yeah, no, I respect that for sure.
No, I ain't
That's
really have
Listen,
waiting
any.
so
you heard me
long.
talking.
Like, dang, bro.
No, y'all
Hey,
was
Sean, you
talking,
never be
Wait,
but no, I
talking.
no,
was gonna say,
I had a lot of questions. I ain't gonna lie.
No, I feel you.
but I was gonna
The
I
say, but
other
I
basically
just
ones I
had
didn't
a
know
lot
what
of
listen
you
to
said.
though.
questions. I really was asking questions for. I mean, they probably ain't even gonna watch it, but I basically was asking questions for the kids that I'll be training because they get on my damn
No,
nerves
I
with
know
all
that's why I
this.
ain't really say nothing. But I know, like,
Yeah,
with the star shit, like, I think that shit is bogus now. And I don't know if I remember I told you I met with
corny.
the dude who gives them with rivals, the
Oh
Brandon
yeah,
Howard
you
dude.
had told me.
I met with
Yeah.
him once in Ohio, and then when I did the camp, and then when I did the All American camp out here, I met him. And bruh, like, I just think that shit is bogus now. Like, cause like I seen a kid, it was a kid that went to Ridge Point, the outside linebacker that left, him and his brother left.
Mm-hmm.
The two boys. And I
Pac-Man.
was watching them, and then there was some other kids, huh?
His name was I don't know his real name. They call him Pac-Man.
Yeah. And I remember, don't get it wrong, I ain't discrediting him. He did good, but like he really wasn't like standing out too crazy. And I remember
Mm-hmm.
they did an interview. He did good on some little dudes, like not kids his size. And I remember Brandon did an interview with him and was like, I'm about to make your profile. And I remember he made his profile. He came back the second day. Bro had like 2-3 offers from that shit. Because he made him a rival's profile, gave him stars,
Yeah.
and I don't know, I can't remember for sure if the kid was ranked or not, but he boosted the stars up more. And I remember that kid came
Yeah.
back, bro. He gave him more offers, and I remember it was other kids they were offering. I mean, not offering. They were doing interviews with and creating their 24/7 and like rivals profiles because this dude's he's in charge of all of that. Like he's the dude that gives the stars. And I remember Bruh said
Mhm.
at the Columbus camp, he's like, I'm in charge of stars. I thought he was just talking shit, like because he low key cocky. I thought he was just talking shit, but he does. Like he's in control of that shit. And mind you, Cuz never played football. I
Yeah.
think he said he's never played sports. So like for you to be in control of that, it's crazy to me.
Wow.
Like
This is wild.
I think that's crazy for you to be in control of that and you've never played sports. And I don't want to discredit Cuz, but still though, I just
mean,
think that's
still,
crazy.
nah,
Like
it ain't
how, but if
discredit.
you
It's
even look on
just
his
fucking.
page and I was watching one-on-ones, you know, like D-line, I love this shit. So when I'm watching dudes pass rush at the camp, they ain't even doing shit. And they like, oh, like screaming and yelling and all this shit. And I'm like, bro, that shit's crazy. Like, that shit's crazy. And then with the recruiting, bro, I think now, like, since I got to be at Akron and I got to see it, bro, them niggas they just need people in so quick. They low-key's they're not looking at and I don't want to say this isn't important, but at first they need guys in quick, so they're just getting them in. But then that's when the character is like, okay, because you know everybody on the visit, they're gonna, not gonna show their true colors. But that shit was biting some of them dudes that was coming in and they was just trying to get in, biting them in the ass because it was like they couldn't buy into the culture because they didn't have the right character, they didn't have the hustle, they didn't know how to handle the adversity. So they was getting up there to the college level. They could play, but they just couldn't handle that adversity. They couldn't handle the challenges that they was faced with because they didn't prepare themselves right. They had the talent, but they didn't prepare themselves right. So, but then I was seeing guys, you got to think, to go back to it now this year, I ain't up there, but you got to look at Marcus. You got to think
for sure.
Marcus didn't expect to play as a freshman. But Marcus all offseason, he was preparing himself well. And Marcus, he has the character and the attitude, good character and attitude, but he was also working to that shit. So when you put the good character and then the grind and then your talents all together, like that should help. So when that time came, he was blessed with, his situations to where he was able to play and he was prepared. Yeah, he had his mistakes, but to be a freshman playing in college football, nigga, like that's big.
Sure.
That's why I was trying to tell him.
Still
like,
D1
and he was like, man, I was messing up, but I'm like, your ass was still out there. They still trusted you to be out there. And I was like,
man,
your mess ups are minor. You're supposed to go out there and fuck. I was telling him, I said, bro, they weren't expecting you to go out there and just be an All-American. Nah, bro, they just needed you to just do your job. And that's what you did. I said, bro, that's big.
Exactly.
Like, I think sometimes too, like people don't get themselves enough credit. So, and I said all that to say, like, for the young kids, like, if you're talented, just keep working and work on your character, bro. Character is so important. I don't think people understand that, especially these young dudes. Like, they think like people just saying shit to say it. Like, no, that shit is important, bro. And at Akron, I got to see it, bro. We had Penn State players, Pitt, like we had Michigan State players, Buffalo, bro. We had that year, bro. We had over like 30 transfers or some crazy shit like that, bro. Half the team was transfers, and they were all 5-star athletes and these top recruits, and it was like they couldn't handle that pressure. They couldn't buy into the culture up there, bro. They couldn't handle it, bro. And it was like they were talented as shit, but they couldn't handle the expectation that they were being held to by the coaches. And it was like, damn. Like, bro, so like that's why I be telling dudes, like, bro, you just gotta grind and wait your time, but you gotta keep working on yourself. And that goes back to say too, like when we was talking about, is it harder to train a player who is naturally talented or like a player that's coming up. And you see it all the time, bro. Most players that really strive the long way is the players who really need to work on themselves and who don't naturally have that talent.
Yep.
But
No, I agree, and that's why, like I said, one of my biggest things, what I do is I'm trying to coach these dudes to be the best man they can be. You go into a place like Akron where you're not expected to play, and you're put in these situations, these adverse situations. You handle them a little bit better than guys that are still boys, and that's what I'm trying. That's what we're trying to do over here, and just and with Marcus, that's crazy because he had a breakout junior year, got hurt in the summer of his senior year, didn't have a great senior year. I thought he was better than Akron, but went to Akron and grinded and ended up playing as a true freshman.
Yeah, that shit dope.
yeah, like, and I don't even think, and like we was talking the other day on the phone, and he doesn't understand how good of an achievement that is. And I like that he's never satisfied, but it's like, bro, like, still pat yourself on the back, still give yourself congratulations, because like that's something big and something major. Don't be satisfied with that, but like keep working for that shit. And that's why and I always tell little dudes like, bro, you got to train like you already you already there. Like you can't have a high school mentality no more, bro. Like, because now this shit, like, it's always been a business, but now, bro, they're really seeing this shit as a business. Bro, you got to think there's 1,800 kids in the portal.
Yeah,
like that shit is crazy.
Bro, that shit
and
is
that's
just trickling
from like
down from the NFL to the college to high school now, man.
It's free
It's
agency,
all
baby.
business,
like,
bro. They're turning that shit into
like,
all
bro,
business.
like that's what, and then they be thinking like, and that's why I tell them, bro, like I was talking to Dior during the season. I'm like, bro, you have 1 year of college, 1 year of high school left, and then what? You got to stay in college for what, 3 years, right?
Yeah,
Or 2 years or some shit like that. But basically, I was telling you, I'm like, bro, you got a 5-year plan. I'm like, in 5 years, you can be at the level of somewhat at the level of success that you want to be at. But can you dedicate 5 years, bro? And it's like, the grind is hard, but they have it somewhat easy now, bro. Like,
man, it's easier, bro.
Like,
I don't
to
care
where,
what
bro,
anybody
like
say.
you have the option to go work out, bro. You have the option to go. Like when we was in high school, bro, like you couldn't do extra. You could somewhat work out extra, but you really couldn't work out extra. It was no coach in there. Get your ass out. Nigga, we had an indoor that nobody could be in if a coach wasn't in there. Like,
exactly.
And like now to where it's like, bro, they can go freely in the indoor. They can go freely on these fields. They have trainers now, bro. Like they have so many resources. But
so
I feel
much
like
access.
They get the lazy generation has the resources that the generation who was grinding didn't have, bro. Like I wish we would have had certain resources, and I ain't trying to do it, like speak on the past, no shit like that. But it's just like they need to understand, bro. Take advantage of this shit because y'all want success, y'all want all the money and all that shit, nigga. You got the plan in your hands. You got the plan and the tools right there.
That's the hardest part
Take
for us. Take
advantage of that shit, like, bro.
Yeah.
Like I said, y'all could be successful young people at such an early age if y'all just lock in now, bro.
Man, there's so many ways to make money and be successful now. Like you said, all the shit that we wish we had, they have right at their feet, and that's like you said, that's the harder thing. Like once you have it, it's harder to actually put in the work and stay consistent and all that shit. But it's just like you said, not to dwell on it or talk about the past, but like I don't give a fuck. I don't care what anybody say. I know it's a what if situation, but if I had half the shit that they got, bro, there's no way. Like I would be 10 times better than I was today. Like I don't care what nobody said.
Nigga, not saying it like I'm just but nigga, if I had a me in high school, bro, I wish. Like just somebody to remind and stay on me, bro. And I don't want to discredit the dudes who did, but they weren't consistent. Just to be honest, like, bro, I would have people that would check on me, but they weren't consistent. They'd check on me once or twice, but it'd be like, nigga, where y'all niggas at now? Like, bro, like I need y'all now. I need the guidance now, bro. So it's like, that's why I drill them so hard. Even like the ones back home, bro. Like I stay on their ass. Like, what you do?
I don't got no sympathy, bro.
Like.
I have sympathy for a situation if it's like really bad and something going on at home or whatever. But when it comes to football, bro, I have no sympathies for these kids because there's so much access. There's so much shit that they can do. And like you said, bro, I swear to God, it's not easy to make it, but it's easier to make it to college and it's easier to make it to the league. You know what I'm saying?
It's damn near handed to them. Like, bro, it's anything. But like now, I be like,
Man,
That, bruh.
what?
Like,
You can go snap
nigga,
at a
like that shit's
7-on-7 for one
crazy.
tournament out
Yeah.
here. And they be like, oh,
Nigga,
who
you
is
could have a
that?
nigga, you could have a viral fucking training video nowadays, bro. Like, and you
Man.
gonna catch an eye, like, bro. It's crazy. Like, we had social media, but social media was not as big, bro. Like,
Yeah.
If Twitter was
like
how it
as
is
it is
today,
now.
I
Like
use it to
when we was in high
recruit.
school, the
Oh,
biggest thing I think we was on was like
Man,
Snapchat.
nigga, they told Bryson to make a Twitter. Coaches told him to make a Twitter. Like, Bryson's not a person who's on social media or anything. Like, if a coach is telling you to make a social media, like, that's showing you how much of an impact social media has on shit, the whole world, but football itself. Like, the coach told you to make a social media. Like, that's wild. Crazy.
listen, when I was in college, bro, I had an area. I hit my hair area, actually, but I hit Twitter heavy, bro. Just because everybody's on there. Everybody's on
Yeah,
there. Kids
it's
used to
crazy.
just send me a film. I used to be up for hours, long nights, early mornings, just grading film, trying to find diamonds in the rough.
Yeah, that shit is crazy, bro. Fucking social media access, all this shit, bro, and they still just be entitled. Don't even just understand. Like, all you gotta do is put in some work. Get
And
there.
they feel like, hey, they think just like I thought when I was a young dude. Now we sound like the old heads trying to tell them what to do, and they ain't trying to hear that shit.
Man,
Like, and it's like you can't, and it's like you gotta learn. And I learned that too. Like, you gotta work on like the approach with them. Like, cause I always say, like, whenever I am like getting on a young dude, I be like, I ain't trying to lecture you. And like, and I do like a little reverse psychology with him. Like, I'd be like, shit, if you want to do that, take your ass to jail. Like, because you low-key gotta scare them, because that's gonna catch their attention. And I don't say it just like that, but I just be like, for instance, like, I think I was telling you, like, I seen a little dude, he was posting like a gun and shit. You know what come with that? Like, you can't be successful with that shit, bro. Like, that shit don't bring success. That shit don't bring the shit you want. But go ahead and do it. But when you get the consequences for that, bro, like, don't be upset. Like, but I ain't trying to lecture you. But then that shit, and then that shit, like, they'd be like, hold on, like, damn, bet, appreciate it, no problem. But if I'd have started lecturing him and started off with a, bro, you being dumb while you doing this, he probably wouldn't even have read the message. But like, I just sparked his mind a little bit, and then it's like, okay, now I can go in and kind of get him. It's like the approach with them, bro, because like they're fucking sensitive as shit, but think they just the toughest gangsters in the world, bro. Like,
they be contradicting
but I think that's
you gotta put
thing with it.
You gotta put their goals and what they want in the perspective. Like you said, like, this what you want, like, this what you said you want, you ain't gonna get it like that. Like, what you doing? Like, if you just tell them like about themselves, then it's just like they sensitive, they don't really care. But if you just put it in there like, oh, you want to go to college? You think college coaches gonna do that? Like, same shit with me. Like, I didn't have kids posting guns in general like themselves, but it was like, I remember seeing a kid posting, and it was supposed to be his homie or his cousin, and he's a rapper. He posting guns on his page and shit. I'm just like, I said, don't you want to? Didn't you just talk to me about going on college visits? Like, you asking how to go on college visits? You think college coaches want to look at your social media and see your cousin on there holding guns and smoking blunts and all that shit? I don't care if you're your cousin. I don't care if you showing love. Like, he ain't out showing love to you for doing that shit. Like, that don't even make sense. And if he asks you to post it, you really don't need to be fucking with him. But you trying to show love for some shit that don't align with your goals, that don't even mean nothing, bro. But I'm like, shit, if you want to do that, then that's cool. But remember, you just asked me last week that how to do a college visit, how to hit up a college coach. I know one thing, college coaches is looking at these social media. They don't want you to come on a visit if you got your cousin or your homie on the page throwing up signs and smoking weed and showing guns and shit. Like, that don't even make sense. I say, bro, you could be a game banger or you can be a football player. There ain't no in between. Like, that don't even make sense.
That's crazy, bro. That's God right there. Listen, I just was driving down to Wisconsin and was just telling me one of the hardest things in the world is to cut off somebody that you love.
Man,
like,
hard as shit.
You can't. You want to be who you want to be. You want to make it to the league. You want to do all these great things. But at the end of the day, you ain't gonna get where you want to get if you liking pictures or liking videos or hanging out with somebody that killed somebody, or you hanging out with somebody that hang out with somebody that killed somebody. Like, well, that's one of the hardest things, bro. And it's even harder because you're a young black man. These
Right.
dudes is out here out to get you. They trying to find a way for you to not succeed. And I gave
Exactly.
him, I told him, hey, I didn't get where I am today because I did it my way. If that was the case, I wouldn't be here. But I definitely
Right.
had to cut off dudes that I done loved, and it's hard as hell. But at the end of the day, I got goals and aspirations too. And in order to get
Right.
where I need to get, you gotta do some shit that's hard, and it's tough.
Hell yeah. Cutting people off that you love, man. That shit. And then that's crazy because as you get more success, it's gonna be even more. Like as I
Mm-hmm.
got into the league, bro, it's so many people in my family that I don't talk to, and it's just crazy shit that I would never think of, like my grandma and my aunt and dogging me on Facebook, and it's all type of shit, bro. Like me and my grandpa fell out. We cool now, but me and him had fell out. Fell out with my dad. Like it's just crazy. Like as you get more success, that more money, more problems. I always say it, like that shit is not cliche, bro. Like this shit is real. It just sounds like a quote that everybody be saying, but it's not even more money, more problems. It's more success, more problems. Like I don't care if you in the NFL. I don't care if you get a job as a bank teller. I don't care if you once you get more success and level up, there's gonna be more problems that
Mm-hmm.
come because there's always somebody that's jealous. There's always somebody that's hating. There's always some
Yep.
person that feels like they deserve something from you. There's always a person that feels like they deserve the success you got because y'all grew up together or whatever. Like it's always some type of problem that comes with your success. So you gotta be ready for that shit because that shit is always gonna be. I don't care who you are. As any type of success you get, there's always gonna be one person that was close to you that you end up like falling out with. Whether you get back together or not, y'all gonna have some type of argument that you never thought would happen, or some type of falling out with somebody that's gonna happen. But it's just like at the end of the day, your life can't stop because of that. Your grind can't stop. Your
Facts.
success can't stop because of that. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And that's just gonna happen. I don't care who you are. This shit's gonna happen at some point. So to be ready for it again, like you said, like listening to people and not saying like you're gonna prevent it, but just knowing how to handle it when it happens. Like you said, when you get to
Mm-hmm.
college, being a step ahead, knowing how to handle, how to work when you get to college, like it's gonna help you in the situation. Not saying you're gonna prevent hard work from happening or prevent somebody from close to you from getting into an argument or whatever. Just knowing how to handle the situation because you have somebody tell you how to handle it pre
Yep.
situation. Yeah, that shit's crazy.
And with that
Yes.
too, like when you cut those people off, you also should work on creating that success group too and building like-minded people around you. I think sometimes people will be like, they cut people off, and that's one thing that was my problem. Like I stopped being around a bunch of people, but it was like, no, I still needed to create that like successful group. Like just because I just had to find the correct people to be around. I think that's what people get mixed up. It's like, and it's good, of course, to have solitude and be by yourself, but you need to also create that group because I feel like too, whatever you're doing, you need a team. Like you need that. You
Mm-hmm.
need a team. Like for whatever you're doing, I feel like on my perspective, I feel like you need a team to help you do certain things. You need that certain person to check. You need that advice. You need that person you can talk to. You need these different people to be honest
Mm-hmm.
with you because like you can't do that because like you could be real with yourself, but like when you're doing some bullshit, you still need somebody to check. Or
Hell yeah.
if you slacking, you need somebody to kind of light that fire under. You just need it naturally because like naturally, I feel like no matter who it is, people naturally get burnt out. So you kind of just
Yeah.
need that person around you. You need that you just need that. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing they need to work on. Like, and I tell them all the time, bro, find like-minded people, find people in the same success, find people that's on the same thing, on the same mindset as you. And that's one thing we was talking about with the boys last week. And that was one thing I liked about Trail, Marcus, Dre, and the other ones that was around. They always stayed on each other. They didn't
Mm-hmm.
care about, and that's one thing I always liked about Trail, bro. Like he never cared about being cool. I remember, bro, Trail had a point to where he was the star, but niggas hated that nigga because they hated him as because he called people out.
Yeah.
And I used to tell him like it was his approach sometimes with it, but like he didn't give a fuck. Like he didn't care. Like it was a time he'd go in the weight room and wouldn't even talk to nobody. But I'd be like, bro, you're a leader, so you can't just not talk to nobody. Like you still gotta work on your approach with it. But like Brett didn't care. Like Marcus and Dre, like they would stay on each other. If somebody was being lazy, oh, you being lazy as shit. Or if Fred was on some bullshit, like they would stay on each other about that. Like And
Right.
they just held each other accountable, and it was that group to where now look at it. And I didn't realize that until they was on the podcast. Like, now look at y'all, like, bro, y'all chose the right thing, and y'all stayed on each other, and y'all created that. And I was telling them, y'all need to still stay in contact with each other, bro. Just because y'all go to different schools don't mean y'all don't still stay in contact. And it's dope to see, because they've been knowing each other since they was kids. So, bro, just find that group and create that circle. And they had to cut certain people off. So, and that's one thing about it, bro. Find that circle, and y'all take off and go far and strive, bro.
Yeah, and we want to create that Discord. We got to do that shit. Like, we want to create that Discord. He came up with the idea of it, to have a Discord with just kids all around, like in high school, like kids from here, like the kids that we train out here, put them in a group. The kids that he trained, put them all in a Discord, so they can obviously connect with people that's like-minded, like he said, but then also just getting people from different backgrounds, different areas, and all that shit. And then shit, even if you want to put some of your players in there, like just having that Discord, it's like a high school football community, just all around the country. Like, that should be dope. Like, we said we're gonna do it, but we need to create that shit.
Movement, bro.
No, yeah, it's definitely about the positive influence and the people surrounding you. I mean, I used to, like I said at the beginning, I was a clown, bro. So everybody laughed. I used to make everybody laugh, stuff like that. But now, looking back, it's crazy, because I literally got a group of dudes that I only mess with, and Dejan is one of them.
Yeah.
A couple other guys, but I was trying to stay out the way, because everybody don't got the same goals and mindset and aspirations that I got. And I'm not trying to let nobody's crazy, the way they act, rub off on me. Because I know I got to go, and it's just crazy, because it's all about who you know. I was just chilling with Fickle and Tressel, the DC and head coach at Wisconsin this weekend, and a couple other guys.
Luke.
Yes, sir. And the O-line coach, Zach Genser at Kentucky. And it's just all about, literally, the world is all about who you put yourself around and who you know. Like,
hell yeah.
Opportunities that I've been given came from who I know, who I knew. And it's, I mean, that's all it's about. And people you find that are like yourself and in your career path where you want to be, and you surround yourself around those guys and build those connections, and it'll take you far, man. It's crazy, because, like I said, I wouldn't be who I am today without taking molds of everybody that I've met and taking some of those pieces and making myself.
Yeah, I definitely feel that for sure. You got anything else?
No, we covered everything, like, in all the questions and stuff like that.
Bet. Well, shit, I appreciate you coming on for sure. And again, I'm proud of you for the shit that you've succeeded or achieved. And obviously, like you said, like you still gonna keep going. You still gonna always try to get these kids in a better position. You still gonna make yourself better. And congrats on. Did you say you were having a baby already, or are you just trying to?
No, we are. We started IVF, so it's a process.
Okay. Yeah, no. That shit that's obviously you're already in the realm of making people better and wanting to help people out. Like, once you have a kid, it'll just enhance that by 10, bro. So fatherhood is one of the biggest blessings ever. But again, like, I'm proud of you for taking that step to coach and help kids and transition them into men. Like, that's big. Like I said, a lot of people around there are doing that, and appreciate you for sure.
Nah, I appreciate it. You know, it's. Go ahead, Dejan, my fault.
No, go ahead. My bad.
No, I was just about to say, you know, it's. I appreciate it, and you know, Dejan, it runs deep, and we family for life, Gary. I know, as a young kid, I looked up to you just because of who you are. Obviously, being a young kid, and wanting to play for Massillon, and you being that guy. So I really appreciate you taking the opportunity to bring me on. It means a lot, a lot more than what you know.
Yeah. No, I remember all y'all little asses being around there bad as shit. It's crazy because you wasn't around, but like, obviously that's my cousin, so I remember being around him when he was little. But like them
Definitely.
niggas in Massillon, boy, them boys was bad as shit. Always seen them at the rec doing some shit they weren't supposed to do. But that
And I knew
shit
you was
is
a
dope
hooper.
to
I
see
wasn't really
y'all.
a hooper, so I knew you was at the rec all the time.
Yeah, I was always at the rec. I wanted to be a hooper so bad, bro. But going to Massillon, like, if it's football, that gets you out for sure. Definitely.
But nah, bro, and we always talk about it, but like I'm hella proud of you, like, because like I said, bro, from 1819 we was in the basement trying to figure shit out, like figure out what was next, what were we gonna do, and that was the thing about it, like we weren't satisfied with our lives at all, like, and we figured it out, and bro, like just to think, like we're only 24, so it's just like just imagine what the future is gonna hold, and the adversity that you overcame, just every little piece of you, bro, like you've grown so much, like, and what you're doing now is like it's great what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing, of course. Uh, keep holding yourself to that high standard. Keep holding them to the high standard, and just more things, more success are coming your way, bro. I'm hella proud of you
I
though, for sure.
appreciate it. I appreciate it.